Nigerians. Who did you learn that from? Your patriotism? From your president? Abi from your governor? Abi your royal father? Abi your pastor? Abi now your sultan? Abi emir? Who you learn that from? Your papa? Yeah, very lovely. Well, what do you think we can do with that? If those who are supposed to be your role models, your leaders, the ones that you can actually aspire, a lot of you aspiring to be like them, you're aspiring to be like them because one day you could be driving the most expensive automobile, living in the most, palatial hotels and palaces and all that, living wealth, money in the water, baba, money, I swear money, that kind of a dream. And you can get all of that if you join their criminal enterprise, but somebody is paying. There's nothing free. It's all those nice cars, jets, fancy things that these guys are displaying every now and then. Those politically exposed people that they are thieves stealing from you, but somehow you enabled them. See, everything they are spending, you get me now? Somebody is paying for it, and guess what? You, your children, you're paying for it. It's not free. Because the money that is meant to be used on you, that could help your own productivity, become a better citizen, and maybe even love the country. Your money has been shared, spent on, God damn it, nothing. Nothing really, really beneficial, so to say, to the people. No. It's your money. Hope you do. So patriotism is not by gaslighting citizens. Listen to this moron
again. When we achieve success, it goes quiet. But once a soldier or somebody is killed or something, you will see the flashes. So the tendency is, who are you doing that for? Always remember that if your security forces fail, you don't have a home. You'll be a refugee in somebody else's country. And I don't know if that is what you are praying for. So we must ask ourselves those questions. We in government and the security agencies must seize opportunity, conventional and digital media as tools of truthfully informing Nigerians about security development, especially during times of crisis. And that is why, since we came on board, we have been open. We have never shied away when we make mistakes. We allude to it and we make a redress. We take action and try to prevent in future, because we are human beings. The good, the bad and ugly exist everywhere. And remember, we recruit for the society. So we're not recruiting angels. We are recruiting Nigerians. So they will come with the baggage. But the system has a way of identifying them and prosecuting them so that they don't give us bad names. And that's why it's important. Nigerians are security, especially during times of crisis, of course. Such communication must be weighed against what is permissible under national security. But it is possible and necessary to strike a balance. Sometimes when you get information and you divulge so early, you might be aiding the enemy unknowingly, thinking that you are looking for front page news so that your editor will give you probably extra bonus, but you are selling your country. So you must always sit down and discern. This information, is it true? Is it timely? Is it when to be released? But have you also clarified about it? Indeed, Nigerians have many questions, some tough, some emotional, some simply seeking clarity. These questions reflect their concern, curiosity, and deep interest in the progress of our nation. That in itself is a strength we must harness. I therefore congratulate the esteemed panelists who will speak today. You have a challenging task ahead of you, but I'm confident that you possess the expertise, wisdom, and courage to engage sincerely. Security remains the most talked about topic across households and media platforms.
Nuisance Lele.
You know something? They are all scared of social media, and I don't know why. Do your job, and your job will speak for itself. Why are you so interested in controlling the narratives? Social media is a place, before now, right? Before now. Man. I mean, I can't say that people have not really improved. Let's be honest. Okay. People have. Unfortunately, it seems that, this tribal, ethnic, religious division, north, south, and all that stuff, dichotomy, they continue to hinder conversation among people to identify their common enemies. Every one of them is afraid of social media because before now, when the media heard the news of attack anywhere, right? A journalist will go there, cover it, interview the locals, get the details of what's going on, even interview the soldiers too. But the moment it is discovered that, oh, the terrorists, I'm using this context now, like the terrorists came, people called the soldiers who were just about 15 minutes away from that community, but they didn't answer, they didn't respond. The terrorists killed a certain number of people, kidnapped others, and this whole operation lasted for 4 hours. And all the SOS to the security agents, they were not responded to. So saying that to a journalist, then let's say you now interview a soldier, and the soldier says, we received those distress calls, but we were told to stand down. That's some very significant discovery as a journalist. Now, releasing that after people have been killed and kidnapped, such stories, in the name of national security, they will bury it. Every reporter, they usually go over and beyond to get their stories and get them published. Baba, some of them they didn't live to tell the story, like real life. But social media broke all of that. Right now, you can even go live when the terrorists are attacking your community and the whole world will be watching what happened. Now, you don't even need to speak to any journalist anymore. You could record the event and post them on social media. Now, you can tell how many people died, where. Sure, you get what is the level of the destruction. There is no more censorship. There is no more cover-up. They could not control the narratives anymore. And that, to them, is actually a big loss of power, the power of control, to control the narrative. Because to them, that is how to keep the citizens calm. But rather than them do their job, guess what? They started gaslighting the same citizens. They started making different laws on how to gag the citizens. They still haven't figured it out, though. And that is why when they lie that they have democracy in that contraption, I mean, their actions says otherwise. And that is why every one of them is always so concerned about social media, fake news. And the number one, what do you call them again? The number one spreader, that's not the word. The number one promoter of fake news, I will just stay to Nigeria. In the entire Nigeria is the APC. I can give you hundreds of their fake news. Rather than for them to hone up whenever they are outed, they will double down. You begin to hear stories after stories and all of that. And if you are still very much questioning them, not, like backing down, they will automatically turn it into a fight, sort of, So people have resorted into self-help in the past because the security agents, they have failed. And guess what? We have had people, after when they were working inside this corrupt system, right? And all they witnessed, they couldn't speak out. And the moment they are out of that space, many of them have spoken up to tell us that the whole thing is intentional. The whole conspiracy around insecurity in Nigeria is like so damning because It's not because Nigeria military can crush them. The thing is, Nigeria military cannot make a move to crush them. Nigeria military must not crush them. Nigeria military must guide, protect, and ensure the establishment of all these terrorists. And they are lying to their own soldiers. They're also lying to Nigerians. I mean, don't pretend that you've not heard some of these revelations, right? They are the number one promoter of fake news, lies. And that won't make the truth die. You know that? 10 years ago, when this war on Nigerians and the indigenous people of this contraption, Nigeria, were to begin the nightmare of the Fulani terrorism in Nigeria, 10 years ago, a young man from Adamawa State, okay, Mr. Sunday Jackson, Adamawa, he was attacked on his own farm. He was attacked on his farm. And in the process, he managed to disarm his attacker. And the attacker lost his life. So it took them about 2 months or so, or 3 months, before order from above said, self-defense or no self-defense. He just killed a Fulani, so he must pay. And from that moment on, the Nigeria compromised criminal justice system had been weaponized against him right from the word go. The Supreme Court of Nigeria that was supposed to probably look into the merit of this whole thing, they just went with the lower court judgment. Mr. Jackson will be hung by his neck because he's been sentenced, and his death sentence has been affirmed by the Supreme Court. Like, what kind of a country is this? Do you know what they said? They said he should have run away. You've been serious. It was on his farm. He was attacked. His life was on the line. The adrenaline that rushes or drives through you when you feel like you're about to die. I have not been there. I can only imagine it because I've been scared like before. You know, where you're like, oh my God, that kind of feeling like, oh my God, that could have been really, really deadly accident, right? You were attacked on your farm. So it's because there are some powerful people behind that. And I remember. So Omoyele Shore, who also spoke on that 3 months ago, after one American has taken up the campaign to free him, right? So Ozekome, barrister Michael Ozekome, right, who had been a victim of kidnappings too. He's been kidnapped before, told his own story, for some of you who can remember. And this was like about 13 years or so ago. 14. Now he's saying that, I think he represents the guy, right? He's saying it's unbelievable. You know, everybody will say, you need to defend yourself. So, what person will come do? You defended yourself. They send you to the gallows. Not just that, to the guillotine. It's called, it's guillotine, a big guillotine. You decided to form a vigilante with your then gun shakabula, everything, to go after these terrorists. If not die, or die, not die. You can't sit back and get killed every now and then. And on your way to the place, they drop bomb on you. Woo! It's a Nigerian Air Force. You can't protect us. And you won't even let us protect ourselves. So what are you going to do in a compromised system? Everybody is a victim. Sure.
Very good.
Yeah,
So you're in a hot mess.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a mess here. But I saw you,
Yes, sir.
I think it was on the Arise TV.
Yeah.
And I've been looking for ways to connect with you.
Yeah,
A lot of people are interested in the matter. But we wanted to talk to our audience
Amen.
about what is actually going on with this particular case and how they can help.
Thank you.
We have Nigerians all over the world who are watching you right now.
Yes, they are.
And everybody is very apprehensive about it. That the person who was fighting in self-defense
Yes.
was sentenced to death. He's facing a death sentence that has now been validated by the Supreme Court of the land. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
So if you just have a second, we can just say hello to our audience.
Yeah, sure. Emmanuel, why don't you go?
No, you go first.
All right. Dr. William Devlin, I am the volunteer CEO of widowsandorphans.info, which is an international humanitarian organization. And I work not only in Nigeria, but in 19 other countries around the world. I particularly work in areas where people of faith are being persecuted. And so the name of the organization is widowsandorphans.info. So myself and my team here, Barrister Emmanuel Agebe, we've been doing humanitarian work in the hardest of places here in Nigeria. So, but when I heard the case of Sunday Jackson, this innocent man who was minding his own business, farming in Adamawa state in Numan, and he was accosted by a Fulani herdsman, Islamist, and attacked and stabbed, and then in a moment of self-defense, turned the knife on the attacker, and they had a mortal combat, and the attacker perished. So and then he went to jail. This was 2015. Was in jail 6 years before the case was tried. Case was finally tried in 2021. I had the opportunity to go to Adamawa State in the state prison there in Yola and spend time and visit with Sunday Jackson himself, ministered to him, prayed for him, and also heard the story from his own lips. As a result of that, we started to be advocates for Sunday Jackson. In conclusion, we were at the hearing of his case in the Nigerian Supreme Court on Friday, March 7, 2025. He was the last of 30 cases, and when his Sunday Jackson case was announced, case dismissed. So what happened is the Supreme Court agreed with the appeals court, and now, unless there's a pardon from the gracious governor of Adamawa State, Governor Fintiri, this young man will be hanged by the neck. So he's already been in prison 10 years, imagine that, on death row. And so we now have not only been advocating for him in Abuja, in Adamawa, but now it's become a Nigerian-wide situation.
Well, it's international at this
then
point.
African, and 2 weeks ago it became Sunday Jackson, this innocent man who was defending himself and his farm. It's now become an international case. And we're very grateful that God is using us to promote Sunday Jackson, and we're encouraging people to write to the governor and to pray that Governor of Adamawa State, Governor Fintiri, would graciously pardon this young man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard, we came across Dr. William Devlin by accident here today. We were here representing other victims of oppression of the Nigerian state. There was a guy who was sent to, he has been in police custody for 50 days because he did a TikTok video accusing the wife of the president of some immorality. He was sent to jail. He was supposed to appear in court today. They did not bring him, and the court has adjourned. So we just came back from the police station, only to find our lovely brother here, Emmanuel Ogebe, who he and I have been also fighting together, and sometimes and against each other sometimes. In the US, yes,
eras of Abacha,
Abacha, up to Yaradua,
exactly,
and all of that. So I'm glad that you are also involved in this. We all have a duty to get Samuel Jackson out of this unjust, unlawful, and inhuman condition of legal limbo that has been
10 years
validated by the Supreme Court. And it's happening at a time that these same marauders are killing people all the way from Maiduguri to Port Harcourt.
With impunity.
Yes, they're killing people in their farms with impunity. Whereas we do not classify this as an ethnic issue, we classify it as a failure of those in government who have a duty to protect citizens who have refused to get involved and to do what is right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard it all. This is Samuel Jackson that we have to fight for again, and we want to ensure that he gets out of this cul-de-sac into which he's been put. So we are calling on